Guys, I have a very pleasant task today. I'm going to review the first commercial uSAVER as it's currently being offered from TreeStuff.com. And I'm going to turn loose a new idea that is baked into this design. It's called the double safety, and I'd very much like to hear your comments on it, both here or on the buzzboard. But I think the idea might in fact change how you think about climbing on friction savers in the tree. By way of full disclosure, I have no financial interest in this whatsoever, but I was lucky enough. Luke invited me into the collaboration effort, and I worked with him and with Nick and the other guys in the shop up there, and they have taken the basic idea and advanced the ball very substantially. It's a little less MacGyver and a lot more professional. The three basic elements that make it a uSAVER are the big ring, the small pinto used without the spacer, and the life support ring doubling in the role of retrieval. But now the ring is the thinner, lighter, pen-safe ring, and it is importantly marked and certified to make the whole system completely appropriate for professional use. The pinto is used with sewn eyes that still allow the pinto to be set as a snatch block, and there are multiple configurations where that's important. You can surf over to, you can Google Tom Hoffman tree and see videos describing all kinds of those configurations. And the retrieval system has been changed completely. It used to be based on a widget snap hanging onto the ring here, and that worked great if you were on half-inch cordage with spliced eyes. It was terrific. But so many of you said, hey, I'm not on that kind of cordage anymore. What can you do for me? And the answer is this stainless steel ring, nice and light, goes through the pinto, no strain, no pain, and catches nicely on the 34 millimeter DMM ring for retrieval, and that makes the uSAVER completely universal. Any size, climbing line, thick or thin, and whether or not it has splices, it'll work. So if you're a working pro and you want to climb on the pulley, you're going to find that this system has been really dialed in to those particular configurations. Now, what is it about this 2.5-inch ring that is so important? Two things. One is that it gives you an absolutely, utterly reliable release from a choking configuration. And the second is that it accommodates running rope. What does that mean? That means you can set the system remotely in basket configurations. And it can be set with a ground-based throw line or an in-tree throw line or no throw line at all, just using your climbing line. But it can be set and retrieved remotely, and that's terribly important for a friction saver like this. So let's go out and have a look at how the system configures in the tree in its three most basic configuration. And then I'll give you a look at this new idea called the double safety. Here's the choking configuration on a stem. It's the first major advantage of using the 2.5-inch ring. The choke is set by hand using the retrieval tail. No matter how many times you run this test, there's no drama, no mystery, no suspense. The pulley always comes out of the choke when you want it to. This is the second big advantage for the 2.5-inch ring. This is the hanging basket that can be set remotely and retrieved remotely. The climbing line passes through the ring and the pulley, and the retrieval tail is not used. When you want to retrieve it, you simply tie a knot in your climbing line and pull the system back to you. The third basic configuration is to climb purely off the pinto as a free swinging element. You set it by hand, use the retrieval ring, and have the confidence that the big ring will let it come back to you. Now I'd like to show you the uSAVER in two multi-anchor setups. This equalizing configuration will spread the climbing forces between two tie-in points even as you move about the tree. You saddle the Pinto down on the main line of the uSAVER and add a large arborist ring to the ocean poly loop in a girth hitch. This is a powerful configuration, but it does take a moment to set up, and you have to have an extra piece of hardware with you. This is the new double safe configuration. How simple is this? The uSAVER is already in this configuration. All you have to do is thread up your climbing line to take advantage of the life support ring. The two baskets that are formed are fully redundant. There is no one single point of failure either in the tree or in the hardware that can defeat this anchor. Configuration, however, is most definitely not an equalizing configuration as you see here. But now let's take this one step further to see the real power of this idea. Here's a completely different setup. Or is it? Look carefully at that orange retrieval tail passing behind the branch. This is exactly the same double safe configuration. Instead of the retrieval tail following the climbing line back down the tree, it is now enclosing a redundant tie-in point. If you lose the upper tie-in, the double safe baskets will keep you in the tree, albeit there'll be some drama as the slack comes out of the system. This is so fast and so easy to do, I make this part of my best practices on every climb. I think TreeStuff has done a very nice job with the uSAVER. On top of that, they've told me to offer you a special discount code on their website. Enter TGH01 and that'll be good for 6%. It'll bring the cost of the uSAVER down to about 140 bucks. And on top of that, they pay shipping. How can you beat that? Product does more and costs less. My kind of product. Thanks for watching.